Okay, Daniel, this is your math lesson for today, and we are on lesson 16, if that matters. Anyway, we're going to learn about rounding, and so we're going to look at side 2 of your abacus. So make sure you have your abacus on side 2, and let's enter the number 8,396. Okay, so you enter that on your abacus, and I'll try to enter that on mine. I've got 8,000. Now I need 300. Let's see. Get up there. Whoops. Well, that's 300, but I'm only supposed to have 2 there and 1 there. There we go. And then we're supposed to have, let's see, 96. So I guess I'll do 5 there, 4 there. You've probably already got yours done. 3 there, 3 there. Okay, I've got 8,396. Sorry, mine is sideways, but it's just the way it does. Anyway, so hopefully you've got 8,396, and you agree that mine has 8,396, and I'll trust that yours has 8,396. Okay, so we're going to round this number, and think about what rounding means. I think you've done rounding before. But remember that rounding is changing a number into a new number that is close to the original number, but it replaces the least important digits with zeros. And this makes the number easier to talk about and easier to add or subtract. Okay, so we want to round the number on our abacus to the nearest 1,000. Okay, the nearest 1,000. So look at the thousands place on your abacus, and which two thousands is the number between? 8,396 is between which two thousands? Well, it would be between 8,000 and 9,000. Okay. Now, if we think about from 8,000 to 9,000, what's the number that's halfway between 8,000 and 9,000? Well, the number halfway between 8,000 and 9,000 would be 8,500. Right? So 8,500 is halfway between 8,000 and 9,000. Our number, 8,396, is somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000. Now, is 8,396 nearer to 8,000 or nearer to 9,000? What do you think? Well, hopefully you said it's nearer to 8,000, because it is nearer to 8,000, and we know that because the number 8,396 is less than halfway. In other words, 8,396 is less than 8,500. So if it's less than halfway to 9,000, it must be closer to 8,000. And so this number would be properly rounded to, if we were rounding it, we would properly round it to 8,000, because 8,396 is closer to 8,000. Okay, let's change the number, and this time let's leave 8,000 there, but let's put 8,596. Okay, I've got 8,596. I hope you do too. You round this number to the nearest 1,000. Okay, round it to the nearest 1,000. And what would that look like on your abacus if you were to change your abacus to show 8,596 rounded to the nearest 1,000? All right, so you get that on your abacus, and then I'll talk about it here. All right, so I'm going to talk about it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, 8,596 is bigger than, greater than 8,500. That means it's more than halfway to 9,000. And since we're rounding to the nearest 1,000, what I would do then, since 8,596 is closer to 9,000, I would give myself one more 1,000, and I would take down all the other digits. Remember, when we're rounding We replace the digits that we're not interested in with zeros, and that's what we do by taking them down. And now I show 9,000 on my abacus. So why did I round it to 9,000? I rounded it to 9,000 because the number that was given, 8,596, is more than halfway between 8,000 and 9,000. Okay? Now, how do we round a number? Well, let's put 8,596 back on our abacus. Come on, abacus, work. There we go, 8,500. I know, you've already got your 8,596 on yours. I'm working at it. 96. Whoops, 7. 6. Okay. 8,596. Okay. So what we do is we point to the rounding digit. Then we look to the digit to the right of that rounding digit. If the digit to the right is 5 or more, we add 1 to the rounding digit. If the digit to the right of the rounding digit is less than 5, we don't change it. And then we change any other digits to zeros. Okay? All right, so that was me saying the rules that or the procedure that we follow. Now let's practice it. 8,596, we're going to round to the nearest 10. Okay? So we're going to point to the rounding digit. That would be the tens. So we point to the 9 tens. We look to the digit to the right, and there are 6 of those. 6, right? There's 6 ones. Is 6 ones 5 or more? Yes, it is. So that means we add 1 to the rounding digit. Okay? And then we take all the digits to the right of the rounding digit, we take down for zeros. Now I have 8,500 1010. Well, if I have 1010, I can make a trade, right? So I'm going to trade the 1010s. I'm trying to trade the 1010s for 100, and 8,596 rounded to the nearest 10 is 8,600. Okay? So we need to make the trades if we end up finding them. Okay? And that's what your worksheet 5 is going to be about. It's going to be about rounding. Okay? So I want you to do worksheet 5. So I think some of the numbers you're going to be working with are going to be pretty large, but if you can put them on your abacus to help you if you need to, you can certainly do that. But just remember your procedure for rounding. Look at the digit that you're supposed to round to. Then look at the digit to the right of the one you're supposed to round to, and decide, do I need to add 1 to the rounding digit, or do I leave the rounding digit the same? Everything to the right of the rounding digit becomes zeros. Okay? Worksheet 5. That's your assignment.